Good morning. I'm meteorologist Jeff Gerber. We have some rain moving into southeast Texas for this morning. Looks like it's going to stick around for probably a good portion of the afternoon before it finally moves out. Expecting some heavy rain, thunder and lightning, maybe even some small hail with some of these thunderstorms working their way through the area. This will not be a repeat of the winds that we saw yesterday or overnight, last night, or I should say the night before into yesterday morning, as this is a little bit different setup, as we'll see some thunderstorms kind of gradually move into the area. It's not going to be a cluster of thunderstorms pushing through with some strong winds. We're not going to see that, but we will see some heavy rain through the afternoon and some isolated thunderstorms embedded in some of those showers across the area. All right, our rest of the day forecast calling for a high chance of rain as we head in towards the early afternoon. That rain chance really should start to drop off as we head towards the evening. I think most of the rain should be out of here. We'll get into the upper 70s, maybe near 80 degrees for this morning, and then we'll stay in the 70s through the afternoon with the rain and things cooling off with cloud cover. Real quick look at the allergy report. You can see tree is low, medium on weed, grass is 0, nothing to talk about there, and then mold right now on medium. As we take a look at outside right now, we have just cloudy skies across most of the area. This is our Roofing 911 Skycam network from the Lake Charles area, and right now not much sunshine out there. And that's the way it looks across southeast Texas as well. Matter of fact, we'll take a second here and switch over to our 12 new studio camera and see the clouds moving in and out ahead of that rain that's coming in. This camera brought to you by Mid-County Plumbing, part of the Roofing 911 live Skycam network, and it looks like at least I-10 is going along pretty smoothly. Dry right now, but we are expecting rain. You'll have rain moving into the area by lunchtime for sure, and then as we go through a good portion of the afternoon, expecting rain and thunderstorms across southeast Texas. So if you need to maybe do a quick run to the store, something like that, if you can do it now, that'll probably be a good idea. If you wait till probably over the next hour or two, you're going to be running into some rain and thunderstorms. Probably going to be kind of hard to get out with some of the heavier rains coming down. So next hour or so in most of the area, I think we'll be okay. Here's up towards the lakes area. This is Jasper. This camera brought to you by Provalis. You'll be getting the rains probably around lunchtime, if not maybe just a little bit after that. We'll see the rains first come into Jefferson County, Hardin County, and then they'll work their way off slowly off towards the east northeast. That's kind of the trajectory of the rains coming into southeast Texas. Quick look at what's going on as far as the temperatures, and we're in the 70s. I don't think we're going to warm up too much more. We're showing 82 in Orange, but everyone else is in the middle 70s, from 74 right here in Beaumont, 74 in Silsbee, and also Woodville, 75 right now at Kirbyville, Jasper 77, and Port Arthur currently is at about 77. Here it is. Here's the rain I'm talking about, rain and thunderstorms. You can see them moving at a pretty good pace, about maybe 20 miles an hour off towards the east-northeast. Now, this is, like I said, not the same setup that we had yesterday, or I should say early morning hours on Tuesday. This is a little bit more in the way of just rain with some embedded thunderstorms with it. It's not a line of strong thunderstorms. As you can see, it's making its way pretty steadily into southeast Texas here for this morning. There have been reports of some small hail around the Houston area with a few of these thunderstorms. So I wouldn't be surprised to see maybe a little bit of that for this morning. As far as winds, we could see some wind gusts, maybe 20, 30 miles an hour with some of the thunderstorms, but we're not expecting the 50, 60 mile an hour wind that we saw I say early Tuesday with that cluster of thunderstorms moving into the area. And you can see some of the lightning around the Houston area and some of the lightning extending up into parts of Liberty County. Like I said, steady progress towards us for this morning. Here's a live look at radar right now, and the rain is pushing right now across most of Liberty County. So if you live in Hardin County, you'll be seeing the rain here shortly, probably in the next, say, 15 minutes to half an hour into western sections of Hardin County. Also, say Jefferson County, probably another half an hour, 45 minutes. We'll be seeing the rain coming into Winnie and then eventually into Jefferson County. Tyler County, same deal, maybe a half an hour, 45 minutes, and you'll see this rain kind of marching in to parts of Tyler County as well. Of course, if you live in Jasper, Newton County, Orange County, will be a little bit later than that as they work their way across the area. If you're going to be driving, Beaumont to Winnie right now is fine, but from Winnie to Houston, it looks like it's going to be slow going, as we'll see plenty of heavy rainfall in the Houston area. So if you have a doctor's appointment, probably through the afternoon, you're going to be running into rain. Matter of fact, if you leave Beaumont right now, by the time you get to Winnie, you'll probably already be into some of the rain, as this stuff's marching off towards the northeast at a pretty good little pace. But right now, dry. Like I said, if you live in Kirbyville, Jasper, Newton, you need to run to the store, you probably got a good hour before this rain moves into there, so you have a little bit of time. If you live in places like Winnie, you'll see rain moving in there fairly quickly, probably in the next half an hour or so. And in Beaumont here, we probably have got about 45 minutes, maybe an hour before the rain starts to move in to the triangle here. So got a little bit of time as well. All right, let's take a look at the big picture. This stationary front's been sitting here since yesterday. It's not really moving anywhere. That's why we call it a stationary front. And you can see this disturbance riding right along the front. That's what these disturbances love to do. It's almost like a train track. These ride right along the front as they move off towards the north and east for this morning. Front acts like a weakness in the atmosphere, and the disturbances want to follow the weakest part of the atmosphere, or the easiest part of the atmosphere to kind of travel through, and that's right along the front. So here they come through the Houston area, Galveston Bay, and now they're going to be marching up into southeast Texas. It looks like some of the heaviest stuff and maybe the strongest thunderstorms are actually out into the Gulf of Mexico. So that's some good news for us. Hopefully those showers and thunderstorms will stay out into the Gulf of Mexico, some of the stronger ones. But we're definitely going to catch the north end of this disturbance as it brings in rain for later on this morning into this afternoon, so we'll be watching for that. But you notice how it just kind of travels right along that front. We've seen that yesterday, we'll see it today, and we'll see some more scattered showers and thunderstorms tomorrow. Tomorrow won't be the big coverage like we're going to see today. Matter of fact, Friday as well, we're expecting to see some showers and thunderstorms, but it's going to be more scattered. It won't be the coverage we've been seeing, because that front is actually going to move farther toward the north, and we won't be right overhead. So even though we still see some rain in the forecast, it'll be more like a 40% coverage of rain. Here's Futurecast, which is a little bit behind. I think we'll have rain covering at least a good 60% of the area by 1 o'clock. So this one's a little bit behind on this computer model, but you can see it spreading across the area. 2, 3 o'clock, still looking at some rain. 5, 6 o'clock, it looks like the rain should be out of here, and then we will be dry for a little bit, but then another disturbance looks like it's going to be coming through as we head towards maybe the overnight hours into tomorrow morning. This one, next disturbance, doesn't look very strong. It looks fairly weak. So we'll see a round coming in for this morning, early afternoon, a break this evening, and then more maybe scattered showers as we go through the overnight. And then tomorrow, as we get into the day, we could see some more scattered showers and thunderstorms flare up. This particular model shows mainly along the coast. We'll go about a 50% coverage of more scattered rain as we head towards tomorrow. So once again, not the coverage we're going to see today. Next couple of days will be more in the way of scattered rain and thunderstorms as we get back up into the 80s. Quick look at your coastal marine forecast. Looks like a southeasterly wind at 10 to 15 knots along the coast, seas around 2 feet. Next high tides at 2:25 for this afternoon, or sunsets 8:11, and water temperature 83, a light chop on the inland lakes and bay. All right, our forecast, we're going to go with a high coverage, 80% coverage of rain and thunderstorms moving in here over the next couple of hours and lingering through a good portion of the afternoon. Temperatures trying to get to the lower 80s. If we can get the rain to clear out of here fairly early, we might get back up to 80. But right now it looks like with the rain moving in now, we might be stuck in the 70s all day long. And then for tonight, we're expecting to see temperatures down around 70, some upper 60s towards the lakes. I put in a 40% coverage and maybe some of those scattered showers flaring up overnight. It might be a little bit lower chance than that, maybe 30 to 40% coverage, but it does look like we'll see a weak disturbance maybe bring us a little bit of rain through the overnight. So don't be surprised if you hear some rain outside overnight, or maybe a few claps, some thunder here and there. All right, a 7-day forecast. We're looking at 50% chance of rain on Thursday, 40% chance of rain on Friday. So some scattered rain here and there. And Friday, we actually have a cold front coming through. It's really not going to cool us down, as you can see. Our numbers stay there into the upper 80s, but it will give us some drier air, and that means a dry weekend. So Saturday and Sunday, expecting to see dry conditions there. Monday also looks dry, and then we'll bring back about a 20% chance of some showers here and there as we head towards Tuesday. So next few days, like I said, scattered showers and thunderstorms, and then a dry weekend, and maybe a couple isolated showers as we head towards Tuesday. We're going to try something new this morning. We've been streaming to you every morning around 10 o'clock for about 15 minutes. We've set up a deal where you can actually interact with me. We can actually do a little you can ask me a question and I can help hopefully answer your question as far as what's going to be going on today or maybe the next couple of days. Maybe you've got something going on over the weekend and you want to know what the weather's going to be like or whatever. Text me at 409-749-9302, and you could do it right now. I have a phone here, and if you have a question, go ahead and text and ask anything, and I'll hopefully try to answer it. So give it a try. Let's take a look at radar real quick here, and you can see the rain starting to move in. Let me check the phone real quick, make sure it's up and running, and we can go from there. All right, no messages right now, so I'll have it here. Like I said, if you want to text, call that number or text that number. Do not call. Text that number, and we'll try to answer any questions you have. Once again, I want to show you the radar, and you can see embedded in here are little thunderstorms, especially down towards the coast. Probably a little bit stronger thunderstorms right now over Galveston Bay. Could see some small hail today, maybe some wind gusts to 30-40 miles an hour. But let me repeat, this is not going to be the same type of scenario that we saw very early on Tuesday morning. This is not a cluster of thunderstorms with a bow out in front of it as far as the radar is concerned, the shape of the thunderstorms with those really strong winds. This is more of a cluster of rain and then some embedded thunderstorms here and there. So yeah, we will get some rain this afternoon. Matter of fact, we're looking at about 1 to 2 inches of rain as we go through the afternoon into maybe even lingering into the very early part of the evening. But we are not looking at like a lot of wind damage like we saw the other night. Once again, I'm going to put up the phone number once again, if you can do that for me, Ryan. And if you want to ask me a question, there it is, 409-749-9302 if you're watching and you have a question. Maybe you have some plans this weekend. Maybe you have some plans over the next couple of days where it could get a little bit wet. Go ahead and ask me some questions there, and I'll try to answer it. Right now, we're pretty quiet, so we don't have anything. Once again, we'll take a look at, like I said, the big picture here. Those storms are coming in from the south and west and are going to be moving across the area this morning and going in at least through a good portion of the afternoon. I don't know if they're going to be sticking around all the way through the entire day, but looks like we're going to be right on the northern end of this disturbance. You can definitely see a lot more in the way of rain and thunderstorms out in the Gulf of Mexico, but we're kind of on the northern end of this, and we'll be watching it as we go through this morning. It's going to be heavy rain, probably not a good lunchtime to get out and about. You might be able to make it through lunch before the rain gets to you in Jasper or Burkeville, Newton, but it's steadily making its way off towards the north and east. And like I said, will be some embedded thunderstorms out there through the area, and those could produce some gusty winds around 20-30 miles an hour, and could see some small hail. We did have some small hail with this area of rain and thunderstorms in the Houston area. No severe weather being reported right now, and not expecting any widespread severe weather, but it will be pretty wet out there. And like I said, you will hear some thunder, and you might see some lightning as well. So just be careful of that. Anytime we have thunder and lightning, it's something to watch out for as we go through your afternoon. So definitely any thunder or lightning, you want to come inside and stay inside. Right now, looks like the heaviest stuff is right now down towards Galveston Bay, southern end of Houston. Looks like that's going to continue to work its way right along the coast. So hopefully that will stay at least offshore, near the shore.